our expert from Battered Herons podcast, Daniel Solana. First things first, Daniel Solana, want to greet you and welcome you to the new WQAM on FM 1043. FM WQAM, Miami Sports Leader. Let them hear your voice in the old FM dial and the modulation.
Well, good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon, listeners. And congratulations to you guys on moving into FM. I was listening to the radio station all week, and it sounds nice and crisp on HD FM radio. I'll tell you that.
Messi took some time off with that bad hamstring. He looked nice and crisp last night with a goal and an assist. But
that assist was crazy.
You have to look at the record without Messi. You say, Messi, he's not there. He goes down early against Necaxa. They find a way to get a draw and win that game in the shootout. They play Pumas from Liga MX. They get a 3-1 win. They go up to Orlando. They get beat 4-1 without Messi. Last night, he comes back. LA Galaxy, the worst team in MLS. You get a 3-1 win. How important is Messi to this team, short-term and long-term? Because it kind of seems like you have to break it down both ways, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the key figures, right, on this team. The way that Mascherano has his tactics, and we'll get into that later. I have my own opinions about Mascherano, but the way his tactics and his system runs is all through Messi. So when Messi is not there, you don't have anybody to give the ball to who can create like the greatest of all time can create. And you saw when he came in last night, Mascherano inserted him and Rodrigo de Paul at halftime. The game completely changed from Inter Miami. It opened up. Inter Miami attacked more in the second half. He got that beautiful, absolutely beautiful goal. And then, like you said, Vlad, the assist. Oh my goodness, that back heel. But I'll tell you this: the fact that he had the vision to see that is unbelievable. The fact that Suarez made the run knew that was coming is even more impressive, because not every forward is going to make that sort of run that Suarez made. But nonetheless, Messi came back yesterday. He had an absolutely great game, 45 minutes, a goal and an assist. But, fellas, I think he came back a little too early. I don't know if you saw the whole game, but I think he came back a little too early. If you were really watching closely, something felt a little off. He was grabbing at his leg at points of the game. And then as soon as the final whistle blew, he bolted, didn't stick around, didn't celebrate, didn't exchange jerseys with anybody on the other team, completely left the field and headed home. So I know everybody wanted to see him get minutes yesterday because everybody wants to see Messi play. But I think the smartest thing for Marcherano would have been to hold off, because the big game is on Wednesday against Tigres when Inter Miami hosts them at 8 p.m. Chase Stadium for the quarterfinals of the Leagues Cup.
But Daniel, I'm happy that you brought up Suarez and his genius of knowing his teammates so well and making that run. It was obviously that's one of those you don't need non-public, non-speaking, just acumen. I know you, you know me. But I'm shocked that you said that point, that you thought it was they brought him in early, because you wouldn't want him to go into that game on Wednesday night without at least seeing some sort of action. Were you upset that he played 45 minutes? Maybe you might have think maybe a little 20, maybe 22 minutes. Maybe he subs in the 70th or 71st minute. Would have been able, or you didn't want to see him at all yesterday?
I didn't want to see him at all. I mean, you're playing the absolute worst team in the MLS. You have to be able to find a way to beat them. LA Galaxy hasn't won a game on the road all season. So you have to think that you with Rodrigo de Paul, with Busquets, with Alba. By the way, what a beautiful connection between Busquets and Alba on the first Inter Miami goal last night. I mean, only those two know how to find each other that way. But you have to think that you could have gotten by the LA Galaxy without Lionel Messi. And look, I know that folks say that he should have got 20 minutes or whatever the time may be, so that he gets some sort of game time action. But he's getting action against some of the best players in the world daily at practice. So, I just don't think, and I'm not part of that club that thinks that he needs game time experience to get ready for that game. I think they could have inserted him. Yeah, it might have taken him 10, 15 minutes to get into the game, against Tigres. But after that, he would have been flying like absolutely normal. And you would have given him an extra 4 days off to prepare for that game without having to go through a 45-minute stretch like he did on Saturday.
So without Messi against Tigres, who is a formidable opponent, they're not the top of the table, they're high end of the table of Liga MX, and they are a traditional powerhouse across the world. What chance do you give Inter Miami without Messi to actually beat Tigres this Wednesday at 8:00?
I mean, I don't really give them a shot at all. If Messi doesn't play, I don't think that they can get by Tigres. Yes, Tigres lost this weekend against rival America, but Tigres is absolutely stacked. They've got great players. They have Juan Bruneta in the midfield. They have, of course, probably the most recognizable name that a lot of folks know around the globe, André Pierre Gignac, as their forward. They also brought in a amazing signing in the Argentinian Angel Correa, that was formerly playing on Atletico de Madrid. So they are absolutely stacked on their side. With Messi, it's going to be a very tough game. I think Inter Miami can get by them with Messi. Without Messi, unfortunately, I don't give them much of a shot to get by. Maybe if they can defend very well, which is unfortunately one of their weakest points, and find a way to sneak out a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw and then beat them on the penalties, that could be a way to go. But with Messi, I absolutely give them a shot. It's going to be an absolute tough game. I guarantee, if you want to see some beautiful football, I know the midweek games are tough to get to, especially with the stadium where it's at, but I would definitely get out there. And even if you don't support either team, get out there, because there's a lot of good players that are going to be on the field on Wednesday night.
Why are you upset with the head coach's game plan?
Oh my gosh, it's not just his game plan. Honestly, I've had absolutely enough of Javier Marcherano on that sideline. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm done. Really, guys, tell me what he actually does, because game after game, it's the same thing. It's the same shape. It's the same lifeless ideas, no real adjustments, zero progress, nothing new. And I'm going to keep it real with you, right? It's not just his tactics. It's not his tactic that's keeping this team alive. It's the stars, right? It's Messi, it's Suarez, it's Busquets, it's Alba that's basically saving his behind every single game, week after week, because he doesn't change absolutely anything. I want to take you back to a point in last night's game. Inter Miami is up 1-0. LA Galaxy makes a sub and puts Painso, who was playing center forward for the Galaxy in the first half, brings them out wide and puts them one-on-one against Chelo Wigant. He burned Chelo Wigant twice, and Marcherano did nothing. Third time, he burned him and scored the game-tying goal, and then we had to hope for some Messi magic, or for some of the Avengers, like they like to call them now, to come up with some magic to get us over the hump and get us those 3 points. But, gentlemen, those are the types of things where if the guy gets burned once, if the guy gets burned twice, you have to make a substitution, especially when you have Ian Frey, who's much faster on the bench and could definitely hang one-on-one with Joseph Paintsill. So those are the types of things that it just bothers me at this point. He doesn't see those in-game changes that he needs to make, or changing the formation in the middle of the game to make it better for his team. He doesn't see those things. And right now, I think he's just along for the ride. I think the stars are dragging him across the line. And to me, that's not coaching. That's freeloading. And that's what I'm calling him. He's a freeloader.
That's what I want to ask you. What if Marcherano says, yes, Daniel Solana, but that's my genius. I get out of the way and let the stars win the game. What would you say to that?
No, because you have to make substitutions. You have to make the correct substitutions. You have players who are already criticizing him for coming out into the media, criticizing him for not getting enough minutes, like Fafa Pico, like Benjamin Kremaski. Both of them start last game. Benjamin Kremaski did absolutely nothing. Fafa had a pretty good game, but he doesn't make those changes that you need to make. He waits too long to make the changes. He's more of a reactionary coach than a coach that's going to do something. So I think he needs to either show up or shut up, and he either needs to show us where his cojones are, or he needs to step, because we need a coach that can definitely command the locker room and can make the substitutions when they need to be made.
And you're talking about Javier Mascherano, right? Correct?
100%.
Because if someone just tuned in and heard you said they need a coach that has control and respect in the locker room, they might have gotten confused. I'm just for clarification. How did you like how he handled the Benjamin Kremansky situation? And we're basically said, I'll play him when I say to play him. He's trying to act tough there.
I loved it because and look, he talks very well to the media. He's a very, very good speaker. But I think he said the right thing there, right? He's a type of player who faced a similar situation in his career as Benjamin Cremaschi. This year Benjamin has played right back, he's played left back, he's played center midfielder, he's played winger. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife. And Mascherano, he always played as a center midfielder his whole life until he went to Barcelona, and the coaches there said, no, you're going to play center back. And like he said, okay, I want to play, so I'm going to play center back. So if Benjamin Cremaschi wants to play, he's going to play wherever Mascherano puts him. And if he wants to play center midfielder, he's going to have to prove that he's better than Sergio Busquets, which I don't think he is. He's going to have to prove he's better than Rodrigo de Paul, which I don't think he is. And he's not even better than his own teammate Bright, or at least he's not showing that he's better than him. So he needs to, again, show up or shut up. This is my message to the team at this point.
That's Daniel Solana. He's keeping it a buck, man. I love that.
I'm uncensored today, boys.
I love that. I love that.
It's the FM dial.
It's Inter Miami game day uncensored with Daniel Solana and us right now. DePaul, what do you think? What's your analysis of him so far in his couple of games with Inter Miami's?
I absolutely love him. I love what he's giving to the midfield. You saw yesterday, as soon as they took Cremaschi out and inserted DePaul, we had more life in the midfield. And again, we've talked about it before. He's really living up to his nickname, El Motorcito, the engine, because that's exactly what he does in that midfield. He allows Busquets to play a little more freely, not have to worry about coming so far back. And really, he's that box-to-box midfielder that we really missed once we sold Diego Gomez. Now, I almost mentioned this to you. What do you guys think the midfield would look like if we had Diego Gomez, Busquets, and Rodrigo de Paul, 2 box-to-boxes on the outside and allowing Busquets to play that 5? That would have been fantastic. But I will enjoy the Bright midfield as he's been playing, because I have to give him his flowers. He's been an absolute stud, and he's kept his mouth quiet in terms of not coming out to the media and complaining for playing time. He just keeps his head down and he goes and he proves it on the field, and that's what we want to see as folks who follow the team.
We got the rest of the world kind of getting their start going to the league. You got La Liga, and you also, of course, have
this weekend
Premier League. A lot of people have been superimposing pictures of Lamine Yamal and Messi, how he's the next over there at Barcelona, the next greatest player of all time. Do you see that happening?
There's a possibility, but I think he needs to slow it down. I think he needs to stop in the Neymar route and go more the Messi route, because I see him partying. I see him getting out there, and I get it. I get it. But if you want to be the greatest of all time, you can't get into that lifestyle. Did you ever see Messi going out partying when he was young? Did you ever see reports of him he's had nice birthday parties. He's done stuff, but
hold on. Everybody's an individual. There are certain people, they find their high school sweethearts and just want to, link up with their high school sweethearts, make kids, and just live a nice, comfortable life. And then there's like 18-year-old kids who are uber talented, who have flair and charisma, and they want to live their life.
Hey, I'm okay with the parties, but I think he goes over the top. And not only that, I think he comes off as very... I don't know, just no, like very full of himself. And
right.
he needs to, but then he has a terrible PR team, guys. He's got a because they have to explain it to him, and he can't come out and do that.
The boy he just turned 18. I'm not gonna go in on it. Does he need to maybe slow it down? He may, but he's 18, guys. Like, we were all 18 at one time. I know it seemed a long time ago, but we were 18 at one time, and we thought we had the world by the Spaldings.
I mean, I was playing college soccer when I was 18, and I can tell you my teammates were taking down a 30-pack of stones, on a normal weekend. And I was not partaking in absolutely any of that. If anything, I was classy Solana, having my champagne. I would take my champagne to the parties or take my wine, but I had no part in taking down 30 packs of beers.
I'm 18 and I got a hair like that and talent like that. I'm wilding out. I'm having fun. I'm 18.
Choice you make. Let's get back to the Today GOAT. which is Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi still rumored to be signing this contract. How close are we getting to Lionel Messi extending his time with Inter Miami?
I think it's going to be over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, like, we've talked about in the past, the Rodrigo de Paul signing was probably the nail in the coffin to getting him to sign that contract. I think they're just going over some final numbers and making sure that maybe he can get whatever he can out of the deal, which I believe he deserves, right? For the viewership, for the attention that he brings to this league. He's been getting a lot of flack that Messi is not an MLS guy, and that Heung-min Son, who is now surpassed apparently Messi in the jersey sales. Folks are saying that he's going to be more of an MLS guy and attract more viewers than what Messi's done. But I think that's absolute hogwash. Nobody in the world attracts more eyes than Lionel Andres Messi. And I mean, look, I think Son is going to bring a lot of viewership, especially from Europe, from Asia, and all that. But honestly, nobody's going to bring the amount of viewership. Now, the key is, how does the MLS keep those viewers once Messi leaves in a couple of years, right?
Exactly. Well, what do you think about earlier this week? Inter Miami sends $175,000 up to Toronto FC. In return, we get another international roster spot. What could be happening in that?
Well, there's rumors that a center back from Cruz Azul, Piovi, is on his way. Apparently, the team and the player have already agreed on terms of the contract. He's a left center back that is 30 years old. And surprise, surprise, where's he from? Argentina. That's a topic for another day, gentlemen. That's a topic for another day. But I like this player. I like this player. I think he's going to be very good for the team. Apparently, the last we had heard, his team wanted him to play the matchup yesterday against Pumas because they were short on players. And so Inter Miami, agreed to that. So we should be hearing about Piovi over the next few days, whether they make it final or not. And yeah, we have the MLS transfer window is coming to a close here in 4 days on August 21st. So Inter Miami has 2 international roster slots. They also have a U22 roster slot available with the trade or with the sale of Federico Redondo over to Spanish club Elche. And then we also didn't mention that fan favorite Drake Callender was shipped off to Charlotte without his approval or even notice, which I have my own opinion about that. Honestly, this is the business. We don't need to tell you where you're going. We're just going to send you wherever we're going to get the most return. That's the way I see it. A lot of fans are really upset about this, really upset because he was a fan favorite. A lot of folks liked him, and because of his magical 2023 Leagues Cup run. But again, I reiterate, I think the team did the right thing. He was an average goalkeeper, and the team needs to move on and maybe bring in a fresh